Sunday, or should I say Shalom Sunday? Shalom Sunday. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining. I'm glad to have you here. If you're watching live, drop in where you're watching from. I want to know. I want to know how far I'm going. All right, I'll be starting here shortly. All right, welcome everyone. Welcome. All right, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on which part of the world you are watching. Welcome to another day with Dr. Z. You're welcome. Look at that. Yes, you're welcome. All right. I wanted to talk about a very special topic today. Not discussed a lot, but I want to talk about the community effect on your thyroid health. The community effect on your thyroid health. Well, Dr. Z, hold on. What does community have to do with anything? Yeah, only about everything. Community has the ability to change any and everything. Okay? Don't worry, we're going to talk about that. But before then, I want to share something with you from the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 24 to 25. Um, Dr. Z, yes. You said we were talking about community. And while you're reading from the Bible, hmm, the Bible is about community? Anyway, anyway, let's move on. All right, Hebrews chapter 12, verse 24. This is from the New Living Translation. It said, let us think of ways to motivate one another to acts of love and good works. Hmm. Let us think of ways to motivate one another to acts of love and good works. So, what am I doing here? I'm here to motivate you. That's what the Bible said I should do. I should think of ways. So, I have to sit down first and think. And that's what I've done. And I'm here. All right, and let's read the next one. Verse 24 said, let us not neglect our meeting together, as some people do, but encourage one another. What do I see there? Let us not neglect meeting together. We are not islands. Human beings, we cannot survive alone. We cannot. It's not possible. I'm not talking about needing somebody to do stuff for you or needing someone to do anything for you. No, I'm just saying that our whole chemistry, our whole biology depends on each other. You cannot stay by yourself. Okay? Before I move on, I used to think I was an introvert. See the word I say think. Because now I'm no longer an introvert. Or maybe I still am. Who knows? But we cannot survive staying by ourselves. We have to connect. We need to connect. We need connection just like we need water. So, in your health journey, if you're by yourself and nobody understands what you're going through, you're suffering by yourself, you're doing all this stuff, you say, okay, I'm just gonna, you know, I'm just gonna just do this by myself. Yeah, no, no, no. Don't do it by yourself. Why should you do it by yourself? You have help. But Dr. Z, nobody helps me. Nobody helps you. I'm here. I'm here. And I have a community. But we'll get into that. Okay? He said, let us not neglect our meeting together, as some people do. So some people don't like meeting together. Some people don't care about that. Someone might read this and be like, well, they're talking about church. True, they could be talking about church. But what is a church? A church is a gathering of people with the same ideology, with the same thinking, with the same goal, same purpose. And to me, that's a community. Oh, but Dr. Z, I've been burned by churches. Yes, I know. I've been burned by churches too. Did it stop me from going to church? No, because I know the benefit of community. Yeah, but some friends have let me down. Yes, me too. They've let me down. Whew, they let me down. But am I giving up on the human race? No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. He said, but encourage one another. That's what a community does. A community encourages one another. One another. So that leads me to why I'm here. I want to talk about the community effect on thyroid health. Because there's a lot of lovely ladies out there and lovely men. Yes, I said lovely men. But a lot more women than men. A lot more. Because, with autoimmune disease, women are 8 times more likely to have it than men. But I'm not going to neglect the fact, you got to neglect. I'm not going to just push aside that men do not go through this. Men do go through it. But you see a lot of people addressing the ladies because most ladies are the ones having this issue. But there's still men that do. And I don't want to exclude you guys. Guys, I don't want to exclude you. You're part of it. Okay? All right. So, the community effect on thyroid health. You have heard about pharmacogenomics. Maybe you have not, but pharmacogenomics is the looking at how your DNA, how your genes affect the way medications work in your body. So a lot of people, when they take medications, they get rid of the medication fast, that it doesn't have time to work, one, or it does not even get rid of it enough so it stays longer and causes more issues, or it does not even work at all. Because see, there's some medications that needs to be converted to an active form. So the medication itself is not what is going to work, but when it comes into your body changes it to something that works. Ooh, what does that think of? What do I think of? T4 and T3? Yes, yes, T4 and T3. So um, you can get T4, but if your body cannot convert it to T3, which your body uses, it's pointless. So that's when we go into pharmacogenomics. Pharmacogenomics, right? That's it. Then you've heard of nutrigenomics. Nutrigenomics is about how food affects our genes and how our genes respond to food. You've heard about that. So we know now that genes are not static. They didn't just stay in one place and not do anything. Oh, I'm born with these genes. I cannot change these genes. Yes and no, but you can. But you can't. But you can. But you can't. Okay. Pharmacogenomics, nutrigenomics, they're talking about how drugs and how food or how nutrition affects our genes. And genes are not static. Your genes are constantly changing. A virus can come in and change genes. How do you think that gene therapy works? With gene therapy, you're able to get a virus that is not going to cause an issue, in quotes. It's not going to cause an issue in the body, and you're going to put the gene that you want to be changed with the virus so that when the person takes the virus, it goes in and does what it needs to do. All right? We're not talking about that. We are not talking about that right now. We're talking about how community affects your thyroid health. I want to introduce to you a third part of genomics, and that is social genomics. Social genomics. There's been some studies that shows that our social stress or social conflicts, isolation, the way we interact with people affects our genes. It affects our genes. So there's something called social genomics. Social genomics. So when people are in toxic environments or around toxic people, their genes start changing to adapt. It starts changing to adapt. And did you know that your body responds the same way to social stress, the same way it responds to a bacterial infection? Inflammation. There is inflammation again. Inflammation. A lot of time people throw around, oh, I'm stressed. Oh, I'm stressed. But if you know what stress really does, you will run from stress. You will never want to be stressed because you can be doing all that you can. You're eating well, you're exercising, you're taking your vitamins, you're doing everything. You're doing yoga, you're doing meditation, and all that stuff, and you are still in a toxic environment. Everything is being reversed. It's being reversed. It is very, very, very easy to be drained in this world. Very easy. From the moment we wake up, if you have kids or you have a husband, that responsibility already starts yapping in. It starts flooding in. And then you have to go to work, whether you're working for somebody or you have your own business, it does not even matter. There are always people that need you. There are always people that need you. And so in the morning, you might wake up with 100% food tank. You might wake up with a full tank. So, yeah, this is your this is your energy level. This is at 100%. All right? You wake up, camera, comply with me. You wake up with 100% energy level. And by the time you leave home for work, or even if you're working from home, by the time you start work, you're probably around 80%, depending on if you're by yourself or you're with people. And sometimes you have to know the kind of people that are around you. And sometimes you changing yourself too can also change many outputs. But that's not what we're talking about today. There's so many dimensions to what I'm teaching today or talking about. And by the time you're done from work, say you do an 8-hour shift, by the time you're done, probably at 30% energy. And you still have to get home and prepare dinner. Even if you already prepped your dinner, you still have to make it somehow. Unless you already cooked it and all you have to do is just heat it up. But you're at 30%. And by the time you go to bed, you're almost at 5%. You're almost at 5% energy. This only works when this would happen. This will happen when you don't have a good community. This is your energy. When you don't have a good community, a community where you can pour out negative energy and take in positive energy. So if you have a good community around you, you start out with 100%, and then maybe by the time you leave for work or you start your business, whatever, you're at 80, but you can go back in and top up and fill it up to 100. You can fill it up to 100. And by the time you finish work, you would probably come down again to maybe 80, just depending on how the day is. You just might go back to 80. And you still have that good community, you pump right back up 100. Okay? Then by the time you're going to sleep, you probably come to 80. You probably come to 80. And that's okay. But guess what? Your tank is not empty. Your tank is not empty. And that's what you want. Because at 80%, you can still lie down on your bed. Like David said, when I lie on my bed and I commune with my spirit, come on now. I do most of my best thinking on my bed right before I sleep. That's when all these ideas flow in. And if your brain is too tired to think, oh, I'm sorry. I'm just talking about this with mental, right? But when it comes to thyroid health or any health, stress or social stress can affect the way your genes work. So you see, a lot of people that develop Hashimoto's and Graves' disease, they were either passed, these genes were passed on from their parents, or some of them, the environment changed it. The environment changed it. Environment in terms of the stress they went through, or the toxins that they're exposed to, disease, some viral infection. One that comes to mind is EBV, Epstein-Barr virus. See, every human is born with genes, and they contain DNA. Okay? And this DNA is unique for different people. But your body does not do anything with DNA. It has to convert it to some or transcribe it to something called RNA. And then RNA is made to proteins. RNA is made to proteins. And proteins, they continue the work. Yada, yada, yada. And then things keep going. See, a lot of things that can go wrong here, and it can go wrong here. When your body is busy taking care of stress or the inflammation that happens because of social stress or anxiety or staying by yourself, isolation, it pulls resources. Your body is amazing. Our body is amazing. It pulls resources because everything is about what is more important right now. What is more important right now is you being alive, you surviving. So your body is going to do everything possible, including leaving things the way they are and not trying to make sure that all these processes are going on. Sometimes your body can turn off a gene, sometimes it can turn it on. So a gene can be in your body translated or gotten from your parents, from your bloodline, but it can lie dormant for years because your body does not see any need for it. But then once that stress kicks in and it's your body's like, okay, what do we need to do? How do we salvage this situation right now? How do we salvage this situation? Your body would kick in and say, oh, we have that gene, and then turn it on. And all these things start happening. For us, we see it as a disease. And then you go to the doctor throws pills at it, and then they're like, okay, you can go, bye. But really, your body's trying to tell you, hey, dude, or dudette, something is not right. We need to work together on this. We need to work together on this. And unfortunately, we don't respond as our body wants us to. We just tell our body to shut up. Shut up. Shut up, buddy. We got better things to do. I have money to make. I ain't got time for this. We're not gonna work together at all. And your body's yelling, like, hey, Joe, Jill, come on. Come on, we need help. And you're like, nope, not doing it, not doing it, not doing it. So many ways our body can get help, or our body would need help. But the one we're focusing on today is community. We've seen that drugs or pharmaceuticals can affect our genes. Food can affect our genes. Now you know that community can affect your genes. The type of community you have around you, the type of community that you have around you can affect your genes. So I want you to really be intentional with the people that you surround yourself with. Be really intentional. Don't just leave it to chance. Your body does not leave things to chance. Your body does not sit down and say, "Ooh, which one are we gonna do today? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo." No, your body does not do that. Don't leave your life to chance. You don't wake up every morning and say, "Well, I don't care how I'm gonna eat today. I'm just gonna stay. I'm not gonna work. I'm not gonna go to school. I'm not gonna do anything." No, you don't do that. Now you begin to pay more attention to the food that you eat. That's great. But are you paying attention to the people around you? Are you really evaluating if these are people that are very toxic to your health? Like sometimes they come and when they start talking, your head is like pounding. Oh, Lord Jesus. Or every time they call you, it's, "Oh, this one just happened. Oh, that one just happened. Oh my God. Come, let me tell you. Do you know what she did? Do you know what he did?" Be really intentional about the people that are around your life. If there are people that you can distance yourself from, do so. If there are people that you cannot distance yourself around, maybe you need to change how you respond to them, at least until they get on board. See, I've always said this. Maybe you've not heard me, but I'm saying it now. You cannot change others. Yes, you cannot change others. If you want anything to change around you, you change. Be the change. Or you know better still, find the change. If the people around you, you cannot change them, you cannot remove them, and you know that you have to live with them, then by all means, find a support group. Find a community that at least shares the same goal that you have. The same goal. A community that will lift you up. A community that when you're down, they'll pick you up. A community where you can only get better. A community that can call you out when you're wrong. I'm not talking about a community that will just say, "Oh, everything is good and dandy." No. No. If you're doing the wrong thing, the community can tell you, "Hey, I don't think that's right." But in a loving way, not in a way that puts you down and makes you feel like you're nonsense. Because you're not. You are a child of God. You are so precious. You are so valuable. You don't even know the half of it. So, with that being said, I want to invite you because it would not be justice on my own part if I don't do this. I want to invite you to join our community, a community of people that are looking for a better life. They're looking for help, for solution, for Hashimoto's or Graves' disease. You know, if you have any autoimmune disease and you're watching me right now and you're saying, "I don't have Hashimoto's or Graves," hmm, hmm. A lot of people that have one autoimmune disease, and when I say autoimmune, people don't realize that type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune disease, but they're more likely to have another autoimmune disease like Hashimoto's or Graves'. And if you have Hashimoto's or Graves', you are more likely to get another one if you don't get a hold of things. I know. What does a pharmacist know? Only about everything. Only about everything. Pharmacists, we know drugs. We know medication. We went to school 4 years plus. When I say plus, some of us went further. We dove more into medication. We know what a medication does and what it can do and cannot do. We know the side effects. We know that things can get from worse to bad and worse test and whatever the next bad thing is. And first and foremost, we know patient care. We went into this for you. We went into pharmacy because we love to help people. We didn't go in for the money. Because really, if we're talking about money, then pharmacists are not anywhere nearly compensated for what value that we bring to the marketplace. So it's not about the money. It's not. When I look at it, I could have been a doctor. I could have, because it's the same years. Some of us went to school for 4 years. Some of us went to school for 4 years to for an undergrad, not an undergrad, to get a first degree. And then we went to school 4 years to pharmacy school, 4 years. And some of that's 8 years, okay? That's what a doctor would do on their own side. Then when they come out, they have to do a residency. And the residency can be anywhere from 2, 3. If they decide to do a fellowship, it can be longer. And the same thing with the pharmacists. Pharmacists have residencies. And some of us, we go further. So those pharmacists that went further, even the ones that didn't go further, they did well. They could have just been a doctor, but they did it. Because you know what? We care about the people that we serve. And that's what God wants us to do. God wants us to care about the people around us. I feel better. I'm doing better. My family is doing better. I don't need to do this. I don't need to do it. But I have an obligation, a higher calling from God to do this. So I want to invite you. My job is to make you an offer. And your job is to accept or not accept. Either way, my life does not change. Your life will change, however, because you have a community that supports you. We don't want anything. We don't want your money. Keep your money. I don't care about your money. In fact, don't send us any money. We don't need it. We care about you and you alone. Because ain't nobody got time for that. Yes, I said it. Nobody got time. But really, we don't have time in this world. We on a short, borrowed time. And the faster you act, the better. All right? If you have any question, you want to talk about anything, feel free to message me. Really, I don't bite. Right? I might holler, but it's really out of love. So, if you have any question, if you have any concerns, and you want to know more about the community, feel free, send me a message. All right? And I will talk to you again. Until next time, shalom.